Hi, it's Christine Lelisher, co-founder of the C Factor community, where coaching, courses, and community collide to support today's busy manager. If you haven't had a chance to check us out, I suggest you do so, but after the video, of course, at cfactorcommunity.com. All month, we're talking about clarity. And it's a great topic, obviously, to kick off a new year with. But today, I wanted to talk to you about communications and clarity, and in particular, your emails, okay? But first, I'm gonna tell you a story, and I promise I will bring it back to this in a few minutes. I'm gonna admit something. I've had a little bit of an obsession, and I've gone down the rabbit hole that is TikTok. I'm not sure if you are familiar with this social media app, but many of us know it as one that, teenagers use to come up with dances to 15-second song clips. And that's what I thought it was too at the beginning. But I have actually discovered it is so much more. In fact, some amazing life hacks I've learned, such as how to fold an open bag of chips in a way that does not need a bag clip and stays fresh. We're talking life-changing stuff here. Okay, in all seriousness though, I have actually started to learn some things that have been useful to business. Now stay with me here for a minute. You're probably wondering, social media app about kids dancing, how does that relate to business? Well, here's the thing. With TikTok, when you're going on videos and you're interacting with them, you get more of those. Somehow I ended up on millennial workplace TikTok. I'm not quite sure because I'm actually at the older end of millennials. I'm what you would call it an Xennial, so at the cusp of the millennials and the Gen Xers. So I don't know how I got there, but I have to say I fancy myself someone who understood that group because for many years I've been doing leadership programs for emerging leaders who would be in that age range. But let me tell you, it was eye-opening seeing the videos and many of the comments, and they all had to do with your communications with your direct reports. So how managers are communicating with their direct reports in the workplace. So I imagine some of you have this age group that is reporting directly to them. Have you ever stopped and thought about what your emails are mean to them, how they are decoding your messages? I'm willing to bet that they are adding meaning that you had no clue about. Okay, let me back up here and explain. It really makes complete sense when I thought about it. This whole generation grew up with technology, and not just using technology. I would say that would be more, what I was used to is we were using technology, but it was not the foundation for how we connected with people. We were still the generation going outside till the lights came on, and we were latchkey kids, etc. But this was a generation that was truly connecting with each other over text messages and email. And it became really important to add meaning to these messages so it could enrich this communication medium. While we might use it just as a means to an end, they're using it as the end. So they were adding things like punctuation marks, emojis, making sure that you knew what the message was that they intended. Fast forward to the workplace, and they're not getting that anymore. So when they send a report to you or a slide deck that you expected, and you reply with one word saying thanks, fine, and even worse to them, period, they're putting a lot of meaning on it and actually wasting a lot of valuable resources trying to understand what you really meant. Does it mean that you didn't like it, that you're disappointed in them? That period said a lot to them when it might not have said anything to you. So what can you do about it? Well, I have 3 simple things that I would start with. I guess 4 if you want to check out TikTok, that would be a great first step. But I would also suggest taking a look at the communication, some of the past email messages you've had, and see what you're saying and what they're saying, and start to just note some of those differences and think about the meaning behind those differences to them. So while you might think they're overusing exclamation marks, they might feel that you are not expressing any happiness or satisfaction with any of the work that they've done. Second would be to have a conversation about expectations. While you may know that, for instance, in professional communications, you don't overuse exclamation points, if you haven't had that express expectation discussion, it's not fair to expect them to know that. So, share with them that in fact, when you say good period, okay period, that's exactly what it means. And then third is I'm actually going to suggest you take a page from their books. Clarity isn't about being clear and direct. It is actually about how well you are understood. How well is that message understood? And they're doing a pretty good job with their use of these extra elements to help ensure there is clarity. So I might throw a few exclamation points in your next email and see how that's received. I hope you found this useful. Thanks and have a great day. That's with an exclamation point.